Minister Mantashe, good evening. Thank you so much for your time on ENCA. The President today was talking about the importance of this energy security and how critical that is to the growth of our economy. And that comes at the back of the gazetting of the ministerial determination on Friday. Talk to us about the difference that this will make in solving our energy challenges and ensure that energy security that the President speaks about.
Yeah, you must remember that the most important thing is to follow the IRP itself in its entirety. You know that we gazetted the emergency procurement of 2,000 megawatts. That is aside. We're getting applications for that. And then we've opened the one of implementing IRP, which is the 11,813 megawatts we're talking about. It's broken into categories because we're believing in mixed sources of energy. 6,800 will be from renewable energy. And you will have and a big amount coming from storage, which is 513 megawatts, 3,000 from gas, 1,500 from coal. All that will give you 11,813. That will take off from the present ESCOM a total amount of 13,800 megawatts. We think that will be a major contribution in resolving the insecurity of energy supply in the country.
Yeah. How does this help us solve our immediate problems, Minister? In other words, what difference will this make in the short term? Because my understanding is this kind of capacity can be expected on the stream in a couple of years' time.
I don't know what your short term is when it comes to electricity generation. As you know, the lead time from the decision, the time lag between taking the decision, building a power station or any form of generator to actual generation. Then if you can tell me your short term on that, I will understand you. But let me give you additional interventions. You must remember that there is also a provision for self-generation where industrial consumers can generate electricity for themselves and therefore take off from the pressure of ESCOM. We have, for example, issued 169 no license, 1 megawatt and under, which is generating an amount of energy. And that energy is taking away from the pressure on ESCOM. And we're also looking into rules which we have approved, which will allow municipalities to also secure their own electricity off the grid. And all these efforts are intended to take off the pressure from the grid.
And speaking of municipalities, Minister, when are they actually going to be allowed to procure, their own energy from independent power producers? I know the city of Cape Town has indicated that it's still waiting for an engagement with you as the national government for clarity on the roles and responsibilities of local government in energy procurement.
Now, leave the city of Cape Town, when we agreed on giving municipalities the right to procure electricity, they ran to court. The court said to them, let's have a discussion and resolve the matter. Now, if they're sitting there and waiting for us to engage them, that sounds very strange to me. Because when they rushed to court, they didn't wait for us. When we said, let's talk, we are agreeing with this, because we looked into examples in the past. Johannesburg City had a power station, Cape Town had a power station, Pretoria had a power station, Bloemfontein had a power station. We said, if we look into those experiences, maybe we should allow municipalities to procure their own electricity. And we're waiting to engage all of them, but we've set up the rules that we must ensure that we've got the necessary financial capacity to run a power station. Because if you don't, you'll have a white elephant. And therefore, that the rules are complete. Then a municipality that is in need can come forward because the rules are clear.
Okay, so you are waiting for the municipalities to approach the national government and start those engagements?
I'm not selling electricity going in like selling ice cream. I give licenses, and any municipality that comes will process their application and allow them to generate the electricity.
Okay. What's the next step, the next process now? Now that the ministerial determination has been gazetted, is the next step now the tender process? And I want to get your thoughts on this, because we've seen how government has been found wanting recently when dealing with the procurement of PPE. How will you ensure the procurement of this electricity is done through a transparent tendering process that prioritizes competitiveness and cost effectiveness and doesn't benefit the looters?
That is where the problem is with a station, news station, like NCA, which has opinions.
Is it an opinion, Minister, that there's been corruption in PPE, in the procurement of PPE?
Then you say, because there is corruption that has been found in procurement of PPEs, let's extrapolate that to power stations.
Well, it's possible. That's what some government officials have proven to do.
And then if we would think that way, there will be nothing happening, because every action we take, you're going to smell corruption. Let me give you an example. Big Window 4 is already generating electricity. 300 megawatts are connected to the grid. 1,000 will be connected to the grid by December. 375 will be connected by June. 415 will be connected by 2021. 140 by March 2022. That is Big Window 4. Big Window 5 is open. Below 1 megawatt, we've already issued a big number of them, generating 72 megawatts. So in your line of thinking is that we should stop those processes because we smell corruption.
No. I'm not saying you must stop those processes, Minister. What I'm asking is, what processes are you putting in place as your department, as national government, to avoid that corruption from happening? Because we have seen some government officials have proven to take advantage of these opportunities and loot the funds.
Now, a government official loots the fund for PPEs. Therefore, every government official is a looter. That is the awkward way of thinking that I don't understand. Because we are busy with, when I came to energy, I was pressured by journalists, I was pressured by lobbyists, I was pressured by everybody. That I'm not careful, and I said to them, I prefer working systematically, follow the steps, follow the processes, so that it is transparent. During that, we issue requests for information. We gazette Section 34, ministerial determination. We issue requests for proposals. It's because we want the process to be transparent and open, so that as a journalist in NCA, you can be able to monitor the steps. I don't say there will be no board who try to loot and so forth, but I'm saying once you start a transparent process, you are reducing the chances of looting. You are making the process open and say to people, go there, and that's why you will actually say, it must go to me, it must be having concurrence for NEFSA, then it must go to the IPP, so that one principle that I learned from accounting is that once you have a transaction that is not handled by the same person from the beginning to the end, you are reducing the risk.
Let's talk about the investment opportunities, Minister, through this procurement of new energy. What are we looking at here? What kind of investment opportunities are going to come with this process?
The reason that we issue a request for proposals is that the market must react to the request for proposals. Then one will say, we can provide you 500 megawatts at this amount. Others say a different amount. And then there's adjudication, which is done at IPP level. And the minister is not part of that. What I like about that process is that it allows us to facilitate the process and not be part of the process. And I think that is for our own protection from ourselves. And therefore, people are going to make proposals and we'll assess them, there will be education, and we select the best promising offer on the table.
All right. Thank you so much for your time on ENCA this evening. Energy and Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe.